Good morning. It is about 9:15 and we are starting our day today. We have gotten up and had our cup of decaf coffee, had some quiet time, got ready, made the bed, did some chores and stuff, but now I want to get into making food for the rest of the week this week and cooking and kind of having a day of restocking the kitchen. So I thought maybe we could do that together. I'm a little tired, so I might make a second cup of coffee with a little bit of caffeine in it, like 1/3 caffeine, 2/3 decaf. But yesterday I posted on Instagram, actually, if you follow me on Instagram, it's my name on Instagram, Tay Oxner. Yesterday I posted about what to do when you feel overwhelmed with cooking from scratch and how to make sure that you are cooking from scratch each week, but that you're not spending so much time cooking and kind of like just slaving in the kitchen all week long that you get burnt out and you don't want to cook from scratch anymore. So I kind of talked about breaking up your week into 2 main cooking days. At the beginning of the week, cooking enough dinner and lunch to last you for, 3-ish days. And then having another cooking day where you cook again, you make more dinner and lunch. And then typically most people, you might eat somewhere else, one day a week, 2 days a week. It really depends on you and your family and your schedule. But for us, we typically have a meal somewhere else at least once a week, and that's typically on the weekend. So today is Thursday. We've kind of worked through everything I made on Monday, and I need to do a restock. So I need to make enough dinner for tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday night. And then Sunday we're eating out with some friends. And then I also need to make enough lunch for tomorrow, Saturday, and lunch on Sunday. So we are going to do a restock together. We have a slow cooker meal that we're going to do. Oh, I said that weird. Slow cooker. It's making a funny noise. Anyways, we are going to make a slow cooker meal and maybe some other fun things. We might bake a couple things together and just kind of get the kitchen stocked and ready to go. I have to be somewhere this afternoon, so this is like a real what I would do type of day. So I just wanted to bring you along with me. We can do this together. I'm gonna make 1 more cup of coffee. We will finish cleaning up the kitchen because it's always good to start with a clean kitchen, and then we will kind of get into it. So let's do it. Hope you feel the Lord's presence this morning. If you don't, just know He is still there no matter what. Let's get going. Let's have a good day together, okay? Let's do it. Okay, so we are going to start off by making a giant pulled pork roast. Get this in the crock pot by 10 o'clock so it has 8 hours to cook before my husband and all of his guys come over at around 6 o'clock. So we're gonna get this in, we're gonna put some really yummy seasonings on there, we're gonna get it cooking on high for 8 hours, and then we are also going to make a coleslaw, a fresh coleslaw on the side with that, and we're gonna maybe go pick up some barbecue sauce from the store, or we can make some barbecue sauce. And then we have some sourdough bread on the side that they can make sandwiches with, or they can just make it like a platter, and that's going to be dinner. We also need to make them a dessert. But first, let's get the pork figured out. I'm gonna bring that over here and we're gonna get started. The most delicious brown sugar you will ever have is homemade brown sugar. Nothing beats it. It is so good. We have some really yummy brown sugar. We've got some garlic, pepper, salt. We brewed a fresh cup of coffee to pour over it. We've got some homegrown thyme that we're gonna be putting in there. Some freezer burnt green onion tops, so don't mind that. And some Worcestershire sauce. So first we are going to season this skin side down so that when we flip it over, we're gonna cook it with the skin side up, and all of the seasonings have gotten on the actual meat part of this roast. And this is how we are going to cook this cut of meat, with the skin side up so that the meat itself stays nice and tender and juicy. It doesn't dry out as it's cooking. Crock-pot slow-cooked meats are one of my favorite things to make because they are so easy, they take such little time and attention, and the health benefits from slow-cooked meat is so much. Like, there are so many benefits from doing home-cooked, slow-cooked meats. I don't typically add brown sugar or sugar to things that we're cooking. But when my husband is having his guys over, you know, I like to make it extra yummy for them. A bunch of thyme that we're adding to our garden over the summer, last summer. Just breaking it up. Go! We're gonna throw this in the crock pot, turn it on high, and let it work its magic. So the beautiful thing about that is the pork took us 10 minutes to prepare. Now we are going to move on and we are going to prep our lunches for the next couple of days, and I'm going to be making sourdough crackers because we love to eat crackers and cheese. I love to eat tuna salad or even a sardine salad, and scooping them with some sourdough crackers is the perfect thing. I've also started making liver pate, and so we need these crackers. Easiest things I've ever made. All you need is your sourdough starter, some fat. We like to use lard in our crackers. It tastes so good. I would highly recommend it. And then some additives. So you could do nuts and seeds, you could do cheese, herbs. We're gonna do cheese today, and then I'm gonna grab some more thyme because just plain thyme and salt crackers are some of our favorites. So the lard has been in the fridge, so it's nice and soft and easy to scoop, which is just the best. You don't do anything else. You just throw it in the oven just like this, and then we will bake it. And then we cut it afterwards or in the middle of the process. So that's why I love cooking sourdough crackers like this, because you spread it on here, you cook it in the oven, you slice it up really quick, finish cooking it, and it all breaks apart at the end beautifully. So next up, we are going to make some bars for lunches for my husband as well. He really likes these because I wrap them up in parchment paper, which I don't have, but I'll have to go out and grab some later today. He loves having these bars because they're a little bit sweet. I put a little bit of dark chocolate on top of them, and they're just delicious, and he can just grab them out of the freezer and go with lunch. And yeah, he loves them. So I'm gonna make them for him. I make up the recipe as I go with this as well. Basically, with any sort of like bar, this one was like a baked banana bar, so it was more like a thicker banana bread that I cut up into bar shapes and put peanut butter and chocolate on top of. But basically, you need, your flour, some oats, an egg, and then a leavening agent, which is like a baking soda or a baking powder. And then from there, you can just add whatever fillers and stuff in there that you want. So I'm gonna grab all the stuff that needs to get used up, and we're gonna throw it into a bowl. We're gonna mix it up, and we're gonna hope that it turns out good. Alrighty, these are all sliced up, so we are gonna put these right back in the oven. And they are going to bake for another 30 minutes until they get nice and crispy. Right now they're super bendy and pliable, and we want them to really harden and crisp up. So now we've got what looks and smells like a brownie batter. So that's good. Now, something else I realized that I had in my fridge was some really old, not really old, but old raw milk. This says that it was Best Buy $2.19. And the thing with raw milk is that because the good bacteria in the milk was not pasteurized or killed off, all those good bacteria stay in the milk and it ferments the milk. So the milk doesn't stay good for as long as regular milk would. And by good, I mean smooth and drinkable. What ends up happening is that it ferments. So this is some fermented raw milk, and I'm gonna say for me and my family, we still consume this. This doesn't scare us to eat. We often eat it past its date on the container as long as it comes from a really good farm. There's no mold inside or anything, so this is still perfectly good to eat. It's actually really good to eat because it has so many probiotics in it for you. So I'm gonna add this to our mix, and I'm gonna refrain from showing you just all the chunks that are in here, but you can envision it. I don't wanna make anyone sick. We don't wanna waste it, and it's still so good for you, so we use it anyways. I just want you to just hear how delicious. Whoa, I'm probably very close to. Those are so good. All right, so this is the chocolate bar situation, and I covered the top with peanut butter. I forgot to show you that. Now I'm gonna put a layer of coconut oil mixed with chocolate, and then we're gonna stick it in the freezer and then cut it up into bars. This is the pulled pork situation. It looks and smells so good. I think I'm going to quickly make this chocolate, blackout chocolate cake from Half Baked Harvest. I've had it before, I've made it before. It is so good. So hopefully I can mix this up really quickly and get it in the oven before all the guys get here. Right now we're gonna bake our cake, and we have eggs, homemade buttermilk, which is just milk with lemon juice. We have coconut oil instead of the canola oil that it called for. We have some vanilla that we are going to whisk up here, and then we are going to add the other ingredients in. Right, here are our bars the next day. I accidentally left them in there all evening, so we are going to chop these up really quick and wrap them in parchment paper and stick them back in the freezer. Well, thank you so much for joining and making some food with me today. I hope that it has inspired you to just be creative in your kitchen and maybe make some larger meals that will last you a few days so that you can cook things from scratch and not get totally and completely burnt out from doing so. I know I'm here the next day recording these things, but all I have to do is cut the bars today, and it's really not that much work at all. We've got tons of pulled pork left over. We've got the coleslaw left over. We have the crackers and cheese for lunch and tuna salad and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was so much fun. Thank you for joining. Don't forget, I do post videos every week. I would love if you liked and subscribed and let me know what videos you would like to see in the future. So, yeah, happy baking.